Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fantastic academic presentation, Lecture 1, What is Human Resource Management?, which was originally presented by Syed Ammar Hussein Banouri. Now, look, if you hear the letters HR and immediately feel the urge to run away from a giant mountain of paperwork, dusty filing cabinets, and just mundane administrative tasks, well, prepare to have your perspective completely shifted. We're going to explore how modern HR has actually evolved from a simple record-keeping department into this dynamic, totally strategic necessity that literally keeps an organization alive. So, let's get started. Here is the quick roadmap for our explainer today. We're basically going to trace the entire employee life cycle through the 12 core functions of HR. We'll start by defining HRM, move into acquiring talent, developing and rewarding that talent, managing relations and exits, and finally, we'll wrap up by looking at why HR is the absolute lifeblood of an organization. All right, Section 1, Defining Human Resource Management. Let's establish exactly what this field actually means in a modern business context. Okay, let's dive right into this. Back in the day, traditional personnel management was heavily transactional. It was mostly about hiring, keeping records, and pushing a ton of paperwork. It was necessary, sure, but fairly static. Modern HRM, though, it's an entirely different beast. It is an active, deeply strategic function. Today, employees aren't just seen as workers. They're viewed as human capital, literally your single most valuable asset. It's all about aligning the people with the overarching vision and goals of the company. So, bringing that all together, human resource management is the strategic process of planning, acquiring, developing, motivating, compensating, evaluating, and retaining a workforce. And all of this has to be done while creating a productive, legally compliant, and employee-friendly environment to hit those organizational goals. The absolutely crucial point here is that HRM isn't just about getting warm bodies into empty chairs. It's about ensuring that the exact right people are in the right jobs, fully equipped and highly motivated to succeed alongside the organization. Moving right along to Section 2, Acquiring Talent, let's kick off the metaphorical journey of an employee by looking at how they actually enter a company in the first place. Bringing someone into an organization doesn't just happen by magic, right? It happens through the first 4 functions of HRM, which act as sequential steps. Step 1 is HR planning, basically forecasting exactly what skills and numbers you're going to need. Imagine you're running a construction company launching 5 new projects next year. HR planning determines you'll need exactly 50 additional engineers and site supervisors. Step 2 is recruitment, which is generating that initial pool of applicants. Step 3 is selection, choosing the absolute best fit. And step 4 is orientation and onboarding. I mean, we've all experienced the dread of a terrible first day on a new job, right? Good onboarding familiarizes those new hires with the company culture so they can hit the ground running with total confidence. Let's look a little bit closer at recruitment selection. Once you have that massive pool of, say, 300 applicants from a single LinkedIn post for an HR officer, how do you actually find the diamond in the rough? Well, HR uses a variety of tools. They do application screening, written tests, in-depth interviews, reference checks, and even medical examinations for some industries. The ultimate goal here isn't just to find someone who can technically do the job, but to find the perfect fit for both the specific role and the broader organizational culture. Section 3, Developing and Rewarding. So now that we have top-tier talent securely inside the organization, what happens next? This brings us to the 5th HR function, and the distinction here is super vital. Training and development are almost always lumped together, but they serve entirely different purposes. Training is focused purely on the present. It improves current job performance, teaching an employee new software, improving their customer service skills, or going over safety procedures. Development, on the other hand, is all about the future. It prepares employees for future responsibilities through things like leadership programs, management coaching, and career planning. Basically, you train an employee for today's tasks, but you develop them for tomorrow's leadership roles. Once they're developed, how do we track progress? That's function 6, performance management. And look, this isn't just that dreaded once-a-year meeting where you get a letter grade from your boss. It's a continuous loop. It starts with setting really clear goals, monitoring daily performance, and conducting formal appraisals. But just as importantly, it involves providing constructive feedback, recognizing achievements to boost morale, and identifying areas for improvement. A strong performance management system holds people accountable, for sure, but it also actively encourages their constant professional evolution. Now, what's really interesting about this next part, function 7, is that a paycheck is just one piece of the compensation puzzle. Yes, you obviously have salaries, bonuses, and overtime pay, But to truly attract and retain the best talent out there, HR designs comprehensive packages that include medical insurance, providence funds, generous annual leave, and solid retirement benefits. Employees expect fair rewards for their hard work, and having a highly competitive mix of these benefits is absolutely essential to keep your workforce motivated and loyal over the long haul. Section 4. Relations and Exits. It's time to tackle the ongoing maintenance of the workforce, strict legal compliance, and the inevitable reality of employee departures. Maintaining that workforce brings us to functions 8 and 9, employee relations and well-being. Here, HR acts as a crucial bridge between upper management and the staff. This means actively resolving workplace conflicts, addressing grievances, and promoting teamwork. But it also means physically and mentally protecting the team. HR handles workplace safety programs, risk assessments, and mental well-being initiatives. Having a safe, healthy, and collaborative environment isn't just a nice-to-have perk, it directly and measurably boosts overall productivity and reduces accidents. Functions 10 and 11 are legal compliance and career planning. You see, HR is constantly balancing protecting the company today with securing its future tomorrow. Legal compliance prevents devastating disputes by strictly adhering to labor laws, minimum wage rules, working hours, and anti-harassment policies. Simultaneously, strategic career planning ensures employees actually see a vibrant future for themselves at the company. By mapping out promotions, internal transfers, and succession plans, HR makes sure that critical positions are never left vacant, even during times of sudden transition. And that brings us to the 12th and final function, separation and exit management. Look, every employee eventually leaves. It's just a fact of business, whether that's due to resignation, retirement, or termination. But professional exit management ensures smooth transitions. By conducting thoughtful exit interviews and carefully managing knowledge transfer, HR makes sure that the organization learns from the departing employee, retains vital institutional knowledge, and most importantly, protects the organization's reputation out in the broader job market. Section 5. The organizational lifeblood. We've covered the 12 functions. Now let's zoom back out to understand the massive strategic importance of everything we just learned. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. Imagine an organization as a human body. The CEO is the brain, setting the overall direction. Finance is the heart, pumping financial resources. Operations are the hands, doing the heavy lifting. Marketing is the voice, speaking directly to customers. IT is the nervous system, connecting all the parts together. But human resource management, HR, is the lifeblood. It flows to every single part of the organization, delivering the right people with the right skills and motivation. Without this lifeblood pumping talent to the rest of the organism, even the absolute best technology or strategy will fail. The company simply dies. When you really understand that analogy, the massive importance of HRM becomes completely obvious. Highly effective HR attracts the right talent, boosts performance, slashes turnover costs, and builds an incredible culture. Modern businesses do not just compete on products or technology anymore. They compete on the capability and the commitment of their workforce. People are the fundamental driving force behind every single organizational achievement. The original lecture gave us this fantastic memory aid to wrap this all up. HRM is about getting the right people, placing them in the right jobs, developing the right skills, rewarding the right performance, and retaining the right talent to achieve the right organizational goals. If you remember one thing today, let it be that formula right there. So, I'm going to leave you with this final vital question. Without its lifeblood, the organization fails. Are you doing enough to nurture the human capital driving your success today? Whether you are a student, a mid-level manager, or a CEO, understanding and implementing these 12 functions of HR isn't just administrative work. It is the ultimate strategic advantage. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.